All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about split testing ads. So first of all, I want to mention that what I'm about to show you is optimized for local business, okay? Split testing for national campaigns, e-commerce sites, webinars, things like that. It does follow this basic pattern, but it's a little bit more complicated. So just keep in mind that I'm simplifying this because for local businesses and things like that, this is really all you need to do, okay? So first of all, you'll see three columns here, okay? And these three columns are basically the columns you're going to see inside your Facebook ad manager, okay? So just to give you a quick glimpse into that, this is what your Facebook ad manager looks like. So here is your campaign, here is your ad set, and here is your ad. So this is where you choose the name and objective of your campaign. This is where you choose who you're going to show your ads to, your audience, and this is where you actually create your ads, okay? So I just want to make that 100% clear. So moving back to this, let me get rid of these arrows. So again, here is all you're going to really do here is in the campaign area, you're literally just going to choose the name and the objective, okay? That's all we're really doing in the campaign area. The split testing happens in these two columns right here, okay? So the method, excuse me, the method that I recommend is to first find a winning ad through split testing ads, then narrow that down and really optimize through your audience, okay? So the first thing we might do if we have a brand new ad is we might create one single audience in an ad set, one audience, and that may be very wide, right? One audience and very wide. What that means is I'm doing something like, male and female, 21 to 40, my city, right? Super wide, right? And then if we're like targeting parents or if we're targeting homeowners, we'll put that in. But we're not going to divide this by, we're not going to divide this by gender or age, all right? So we'll just say something, just as an example, we'll do male plus female. We'll do something like 21 to 40 and married. Just to give you an example, okay? So this is one ad set. Now over here, we will create several different ads. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these ads will have things like different images, different headlines, maybe different copy. But they all go to the same exact, let's say we're running them to a page, or let's say we're running them to a lead form, or let's say we're running them to a messenger. They all go to the same destination. They do. They go to the same destination. They're just different ad variations. Now, the reason for that is we want to find out which one of these or which ones work. So let's say we run this ad for a couple days, and let's say we do something like 50 bucks a day or 20 bucks a day here. So let me just say here, let's just say we do 40 bucks a day. That way, each one of these ads is being spent $10 per day roughly, and we're going to figure out within a day or two which one of these ads actually freaking works, right? Actually is getting a response, all right? So now, let's say for a moment that this ad has really, really high lead cost, and this ad has a really, really high lead cost, but this ad is awesome, and let's say this ad is also good, right? Or for the sake of simplicity, let's say this ad sucks too, and let's say this one right here is the one that has the lowest lead cost, and we really like this one. It's getting a good lead cost out of the 4. So now at this point, we can create a new campaign, right? We can create a new campaign, and for this campaign, what we can do is we can create an ad set, let's say male, 21 to 30, and then of course, whatever married or whatever. Let's just go by age and gender, right? And then we create female, 21 to 30, and then say something like male, 31 to 40, and then female, 31 to 40. Okay. Now over here, it was variation 3, right? So it was variation 3 that was the winning ad from the last one. So we create one ad, right? Now we duplicate this ad all the way down, right? So we create another ad that is identical. And the way we actually do this is we don't create an identical ad. We just use the page post ID of this ad, and we use it for all these other audiences. And that way it actually runs to the same ad. So any comments that go on that ad or anything like that, they all go to one spot. I'll show you how to do that momentarily. So then we do another one, and we do another one, and these are all number 3. These are all the same exact ads, right? And these are all going to the same ad, all right? And all of these are the same exact ad. So now what happens is, even though it's the same ad, let's say that out of these audiences or ad sets, let's say that the male 31 to 40 is a high lead cost, and we find that the male 21 to 30 is a high lead cost. Maybe men aren't resonating with these ads, but we find that female 21 to 30 is awesome. And now keep in mind, when you cancel these ad sets, these ads also get canceled as well. And this one is okay, right? So what we end up doing is we end up keeping these ad sets running, and we may even increase the budget on perhaps this one. And if this one's doing okay, we might just keep that the same, but keep it running, right? And this is how we maximize the amount of money we spend for the amount of leads we get for our client, okay? Or for our campaign, if it's our own business even. And you cannot do this with billboards. You cannot do this with TV. You cannot do this with radio. You cannot test and show your ads just for only certain people. So this is really, really cool. So this is the equation that I like to look at. I like to first find the winning ad, and then I like to find the winning audience. So just to sum that all up, okay, you want to find winning ads, and then you want to find winning ad sets. And when I mean ad sets, since you're choosing who you're showing the ads to, since you're choosing your targeting in the ad set, there you find your winning audience per se. But you find your winning ad, then you find your winning ad sets, and you let them run. Okay, with that said, let's actually get practical here, and let's jump into some examples. I'm going to create some dummy ads in one of my clients' accounts, and the reason I'm doing that is because they already have ads running that are doing well, and I don't want to, mess with their account, so I'm just going to use it as an example. So let's say we want to find the winning ad, right? So I'm going to hit create, and we'll do this. We'll call this one split test ads, since that's what we're going to do here. For the sake of simplicity, I am going to just select traffic for this one. Now, Facebook has a new feature. As you can see, it says new here, and they add new features all the time. If you switch this on, it'll allow you to basically select how many versions of the ad you want to do, and then you can select different, you can select different stuff. I don't like this because they keep changing the way they do this. It's a new feature. Facebook has a tendency to add and remove features, so I'm going to show you the manual way to do it, and the manual way to do it will always be around. They never change it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to call this campaign Split Test Ads. I'm going to call this Wide Audience for the ad set name, and I'm going to call this ad number 1. Okay, so I'm going to hit Save to Draft, and it's going to create me a campaign. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click the campaign name, which will bring me to the second column, which is our ad set column. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and I'll select my targeting. So my client is in Spring Hill, Florida. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to click current city only. I'm going to select a wide audience of 21 to 40. Boom. And all. And I'll also select English just to make sure that they're English. Okay. And now I'm going to select some targeting. So I'm going to do parents and married because that's a good one for like martial arts schools if you're doing for kids. Okay, boom. So our potential reach now is 14,000 people. Kind of low. Let me see if getting rid of this changes it. Hold on. English all. Okay. Boom. Okay. And I also put expand interest when it may increase link clicks at a lower cost per click. So I do select that. So sometimes Facebook can be a little weird. It says potential reach 14,000 people. I literally just did this ad like an hour ago and it said 45,000 people. So you can't here's a pro tip. You can't always trust what this says. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's unfortunately the truth. And it makes no sense if I take this away. As you can see, it should go down, but it doesn't. So don't get super hung up on that. It's still a good size audience. Okay, so we can also do homeowners. And that should bring it up to 27,000. Okay, cool. So why are we selecting homeowners, parents, and married? Well, parents obviously have kids. People who are married who have kids, and people who own homes have kids. Okay. I've also had success with not doing any targeting. You'd want to split test that, and I'll kind of get into that more in a second. So at this point, we now have a basic audience set up. Okay, this is a basic audience set up. If you're worried about your reach being low, one thing you can do is actually just get rid of all of this targeting right here, okay? And now it says 41,000 people, all right? So because we're in a small town, I might actually do this exactly. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. And even though this number might be super accurate, it did increase. So I'm just going to leave it wide open. I'm not going to do any targeting. I'm literally just going to do my city here, and that's it, especially since we're doing a wide audience, all right? I just wanted to show you that to give you an example. If you're in a big city, though, you can actually select those things I selected, and you'll still have quite a large audience. But even still, this is not always accurate, so just try to look at the number of increases and decreases as you mess with it. Okay, so next I'll leave automatic placements. Okay, so now I'll click on this right here, and when I click on it, I will go ahead and I will select my page, which is this right here, my client's page. And now what I'll do is, and for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to use some dummy copy. So first thing I'm going to do is select an image, and that image will be, say, this one right here. Okay, and I'll put in, just again for simplicity, their website address. So for the text, I'm going to say, get a free week of BJJ for your kids. Click the link to get your voucher. Now, this is not the copy I would normally use. I'd use a little bit different copy than this, but for the sake of simplicity of showing you how to split test, I'm just going to put something simple in there. And then for the headline, get your free week of BJJ. And then offer expires soon, don't delay. And then call to action is learn more. So now we have ourselves an ad, right? So at this point, we could hit publish and we could begin running this ad and we'd be done. However, what we want to do is we want to split test this ad and we want to find a variation that works really well. So just so you know, the different variations, for instance, that you could test here is you could use different copy, which would be this, okay? You could use a different headline, which would be this. You could use a different button, like contact us, okay? There's a variety of things that you could change to see which works better. Your image, all that. However, you don't want to change more than one thing. You only want to change one thing at a time. So I'll give you an example. If I go here and I hit duplicate, now I can hit duplicate and I can create ad number 2. So I'll just call this ad number 2. Now I want you to notice something important. When I do that, Facebook does this really annoying thing where whenever you do that, on the left side, it shows you all your ads from all your campaigns. And that can get confusing. So what I recommend is once you duplicate and you rename up here, hide the ad, go back to campaigns, click your campaign, click your campaign that you just selected, click the ad set you just selected, and now you'll only see the ads in that ad set. I know that's crazy that you have to do that, but that's just the way it is. Hopefully they do fix that one day. Anyway, so at this point, now I'm going to select this ad number 2, and I'm going to change one thing. So I'll change the image, right? So I'll hit clear images, and I'll select a different image. Like I'll select this image right here. Boom. Right? So now at this point, I have 2 ads. Everything's the same except the image. So if I look at this ad, and the way you would do that is you'd select it, and then you deselect the other one, and that'll show you the new ad. So I have this ad right here, and then I have this ad right here. And again, they're the same ad, except for the image. So if I find that this ad right here costs $10 per lead, but this ad right here costs $5 per lead, clearly I'd want to run this ad and shut the other one off, okay? I hope that makes sense, guys. So now that we've created 2 different images, there's a variety of ways we could go about this. We could create 5, 10 different images if we wanted. Or what I like to do is I like to mix it up a little bit. And so I'll select both of these right here. I'll select both of these and I'll hit duplicate again. And I'll hit duplicate. So this time, and again, it does this thing on the left. So this time what I'll do is I will hit add to version 1. And I'll hit add 1 version 1. Or actually, no, we'll just do this. We'll just keep it simple. We'll do version 3. Yeah, and version 4. That's fine. Okay. So again, we go back, we hit campaigns, we hit split test ads, we click our audience, and now we have our ads. So now what we do is I'm going to select both of ad 3 and ad 4. And then I'm going to hit edit. Now you'll notice at this point that, turn ad previews on. You'll notice at this point that it says image, and it doesn't show the image here. It says multiple images. That's because I have multiple images selected. So if I change the image right now, it's going to change both of these. We don't want that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to scroll down to where it says headline, and we're going to change that. We're going to say click here to get your free week. So now what this has done is, because we have both of these selected on the left, it has now changed the headline of both of these, but it has left the images the same. Okay? So when it's all said and done, what we have here is we have version 1, we have get your free BJJ, get your free week of BJJ with this image. Then we have version 2, which is get your free week of BJJ with that image. And then our next version is the new headline, click here to get your free week of BJJ with that other image. And then the next one is again, the new headline, click here to get your free week of BJJ with that image. So what we've essentially done here is we've created 4 variations of an ad, but we've only changed one thing each time. So when we go to run this ad, clearly, as we budget, and if we go back to our ad set, we have this set to $20 per day. So let's say we up this to $40 per day. So I'll just click this right here, and I'll put in $40 per day. Let's say I put in 40. That means it's going to spend roughly $10 per ad. It's going to spread that out. So let's say my client is comfortable with spending $10 a day. I might spend $40 a day the first, say, 2 or 3 days, maybe 2 days, and I'll let them know about this, just to find out which one of these 4 ads performs the best. And when I figure it out, then I shut the other ones off, and I can go back now and I can reduce this budget back down to, say $10 a day and only run that one ad. However, once I figure that out, then I personally like to go even further, and I like to split test audiences. So let me just give you an example of some ads we ran before. Like, for instance, let me see. Maybe it was this one. Let me go back here. So I'm actually going to delete this split test ad. Otherwise, it'll show in every menu. Okay? But let me give you an example here. So let's look at this one, kids program. Okay, so let me see if we got 2 ads for this. Nope, we got 1 ad. Let's see this one. Do we have 1 ad or 2? Nope, 1 ad. And let's look at free week. Okay, so here's 2 ads, right? So let's say for a moment that we decide out of this that this ad is the winner right here. Okay, let's say that this ad is the winner right here. Now we can then take that and start split testing audiences. All right, I'm trying to find a good example of a winning ad, which I believe would be, let me find it real quick here. So this one right here is the one we're running right now. It works really, really well. Yeah, this one right here. So let's say we've split tested our ads, and we found that one of them works really well. Now we want to split test audiences. Okay, so to give you an example, this ad right here, is a winning ad, right? So at this point, what I'd want to do is I'd want to take this ad, and I might want to split test this among different people to try to get my ad cost even lower, okay? So let me give you an example of where I've done that, and then I'll show you how to do it for yourself. So for instance, if I go to, let me see, is it kids program? Okay, here's a perfect example. So let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so right here you'll see I have men 25 to 35, and I have female 25 to 35. Now if I click on this, you'll notice there's 1 ad, and that's this ad right here. Okay, so this ad right here was an ad we ran, and we ran 4 different versions of this, and this was the winning ad, the one you see right here. And it was just a very simple ad where we played a video. Let me just refresh the page here. Yeah, so we played a video of the kids and stuff like that, and it says get a free, hold on, there we go. So it says get a free uniform and belt for your child at Gracie Spring Hill. So again, we tried several different variations of this ad. I just can't find it right now, but basically I think one of them was, click here to get a free uniform, this and that. This one won. It was this one, right? So, and this one goes to a capture page where, we get their information, right? So for this one, you'll see it did really well. It got 12 shares. It got all of, all this engagement and everything like that. So this is the one that works. So now what we did was we go here, right here. So there's our ad, right? But you'll notice if I click on both of these ad sets, it's the same ad, right? It's the same ad. But look at this. This ad, female, was $5 per lead. And this one was $10 per lead. So we would shut this one off and we'd run this one because we found that the females were less expensive and we were able to get more leads for our money. Okay, so that's what we did there, and that's how you would split. So at this point, you would you turn that one off and you'd allocate your budget to here, and you could even up your budget now. So we were spending $5 each. Now that we turn that one off, we can turn this one up to $10, right? And put more of our budget into this and get more for our money. Okay, so that's how you split test audiences. So let's do this step by step. So the first step to this is to find a winning ad that you want to split test by audience. And so we're going to take this one. We'll take this one right here. So up at the top of your browser, you'll see a URL. Okay, and this URL will look like, it'll be like facebook.com/ a bunch of numbers. Actually, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys real quick so I can show you what this actually looks like. 1 second. Let me zoom in. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see here, it'll say facebook.com. Then it'll have a bunch of numbers here. Then it'll usually say something like posts or videos, probably posts. And then it'll have a number here. This is the number you want to copy for your winning ad. Okay, that's the number you want to copy. And then let me just go ahead and resize my window so that you guys can see the full display. 1 second. Resize here. And boom. Okay, great. So now if we go to our ads manager, we have our post ID for our winning ad. So we'll hit create. And now we'll type in something like split test audience, right? Or we'll just say split test ad set. Again, same thing, traffic. We'll put so for this first one I might put something like male 21 to 40. And then here we'll put winning video ad. And then I'll hit save. Now, once again, at this point, what we're going to do is we are going to click over here and click on our campaign, which will take us to our ad set. So now what we're going to do is I'll do, say, $10 a day. I'll go and I'll type in Spring Hill, Florida. I'll do current city. I'll do male, and I'll do 21 to 40, like so. And we have 20,000 people. Okay, great. So now I'll click on the ad set, and this is where we have our ad. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the page. Boom. Now this is where it gets super easy. I'm going to click use existing post, and then I'm going to click this button right here that says enter post ID. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to paste in that number that we just copied, and I'm going to hit submit, and boom. At this point, it's going to now show us this ad. So now our traffic is going to go to this ad. Now, if you've selected Instagram, you'll see this thing right here that says videos can't be longer than 60 seconds on Instagram. Don't worry about that. They just won't show your ad on Instagram if it's longer than 60 seconds, if it's a video. But if you don't want to stare at that warning, then just go back to your ad set and go over to your placements and hit edit placements and just get rid of Instagram. And now you should not see that warning. Again, it doesn't matter. They won't show it on Instagram anyway, but it's just, see, you won't see the warning now. It's just kind of annoying to see that warning. You're like, oh my God, is something wrong? There's nothing wrong. Okay, so now what we want to do is now we have our page post, our post ID here in the ad. So if we go back to the ad set, all we have to do is hit duplicate and press that right there. And now what happens is, because, and again, it'll show you all the stuff over here, but because we've chosen the post ID in the ad inside of the ad set, now all we have to do is go up here and we'll say female 21 to 40, and we'll scroll down and we'll select women, and that's it. Okay, and so now if we go here, we'll notice that we have male 21 to 40, female 21 to 40, and if we click on if we click on both of these and we click on the ads, you'll notice both of them are the same ads. Okay, so now we could just run that. We could find out, okay, who is converting better? Is it going to be our males or our females? And we would see that right here in cost per result. Now, I would probably stop there since this is a small town, because you'll notice if I click here, it says 21,000 people, right? Now, again, even though this reach here isn't always 100% accurate, it does give you a good idea. And you'll see here 19,000 people. And then we look down here. The better thing to look at besides the potential reach is to look at the estimated daily results. I believe that's a little bit more accurate. So we see 1,000 to 3,100 and reach 900 to 2,700. So that's a little bit better. So at this point now, because it's so low, I would probably leave it. But let's say it was a big city, I might test it a little bit further. So I might do something like, duplicate both of these again, right? So I'll hit duplicate. And now that we've got these two selected, I might change something like the targeting. I might put in like parents, married, and homeowners, like I was showing you all before. Boom. So now if we select one of these, it says 12,000 people, and this one says 15,000 people. So it definitely narrowed it down. However, so we'll want to name these, right? So we'll go back here and we'll do with targeting, and then I will name this one as well with targeting, right? So now what do we got here is we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're spending $40 a day, $10 each ad set. It's all the same ad, but what we're testing here is we're testing male and female 21 to 40 with absolutely no targeting, male 21 to 40 with absolutely no targeting, female 21 to 40 with some targeting, and male 21 to 40 with some targeting. And we'll let these run for a couple days and see which gives us the best results. And again, that further gets us a better lead cost and allows us to get more for our client. Okay, but I've seen these ad sets right here perform better than the ones with targeting, believe it or not, because they're what ends up happening is there's more people for Facebook to optimize for, and so they do a better job. But then again, I've seen the opposite as well. The truth is, it all depends on your ad, where your location is, the time of year, everything. So you have to test. There's no answer I can give you that says this is the right thing to do. What I can tell you and what the right answer is that you must test. Okay, and when you test, that's when you know what the right answer is. Now, I will give you one more tip before we leave this video. You'll notice, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this ad set here. So let me just delete this. You'll notice that most of these ad campaigns are turned off here, and that we have these ones turned on. So let me show you this one right here that I did. Now, we've noticed that these type of ads work the best for places like local, anything that involves kids, this works the best. And I'm going to show you why. So if you'll notice, this is an ad we ran where it asks them to call, right? But look at this. Look at how many comments there are, okay? Now look at this. This is another ad we ran, and this ad goes to a landing page where we get a voucher, okay? But look at this. Look at all of these. How much are the classes? How much are the classes? How much are the classes? How much price? What are the days and times? Classes per week, age limits. If you notice, businesses that have to do with kids, the parents always have questions. So this is one thing that I did when I noticed this. I noticed what the real, like, the pain point was. You have to identify the pain point and directly tie the offer to that. So because I noticed that there was such an overwhelming response of parents that want their questions answered, as you can see in this post, and as you can see in this one as well, a lot of questions, okay? What we decided to do was we decided to create a ad like this. Wondering if BJJ is right for your kids? Want to get info on our classes, schedules, and price? Click the send message button and ask any question you like. We'll get you an answer ASAP. And then it has send us a message. And this is the reason we did this was because of ads like this. I spoke to the owner of this gym, and he said that comparing the number of people that called, okay, versus the number of people that commented, and he simply replied to them or messaged them and then got them to come in or got them on the phone, overwhelmingly he got way more new students for his gym by people commenting and then getting a hold of them that way. Look at this, 184 shares. That's amazing. So basically, they commented, then, I mean, look at this. So just to show you, like, I'm curious to know the monthly rates. I hit see response, and you'll notice in the messenger, they responded. So you can actually respond directly to your customer, okay? So he says, right now we have a free week, so you're welcome to come in and check us out, and we can talk about the different options. Are you available tonight at 7? Now, this particular guy didn't respond, but as you can see, there's plenty of people that did respond, okay? And it's all a numbers game. So the bottom line here is that we've found that the best ads for anything that has to do with kids are messenger ads. They don't require any funnels. They just get a conversation going, and then people come in and they take their free week. Okay, so the bottom line here is, guys, I've covered in this video how to split test ads, how to split test audiences, and then also how to identify what's really working. And as you can see, most of these people ask questions, so that's why I decided to go with a messenger ad. Okay, so hope this is helpful, guys. Love you all, and I look forward to seeing you really rock this business, and be able to get your clients results, get your clients more business, so that you can get paid and you can make a better life for yourself, better life for your clients, better life for yourself. All right, see you guys in the next video.